welcome. My name is Maura Curran. I'm the current chair of the Scituate Board of Selectmen. And on behalf of the Board of Selectmen, I want to welcome you all, and especially Representative Cantwell, Senator O'Connor, and Commissioner Kluggish for making the trip here and joining us today to dedicate this fabulous new library to the residents of Scituate. It's beautiful. Can't thank you all enough. This morning, there will be many people who will speak to you who have all played an integral role in bringing a very sincere passion to reality. It began 7 years ago. I was on the advisory board then with Kathy Meeker, our former director of the library, who really had a vision and a passion to deliver a 21st century library to meet the changing and growing demands of the citizens of Scituate. With the help of the foundation, the board, the library trustees, our new director, Jesse Finney, as well as the guidance of our town administrator, Tricia Van Casey, and the many, many, many library staff and town staff who brought this to fruition, we stand here today celebrating really, truly a culmination of efforts of many. And I'm so proud of all of you, and what a great example you all are of cooperation to really bring that vision to fruition. And I sincerely thank you on behalf of the Board of Selectmen. I also just want to especially take a moment to thank the citizens of Scituate who supported the financing of this project, in addition to the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners for awarding Scituate with a generous grant to build this building. So we will commence with the ceremony. I want to introduce Kevin Carlton, who is the chair of the Library Board of Trustees, whose passion and leadership through this process have brought us to this moment. Kevin?
You know, my last job before I retired, I was teaching at Boston University, a course in the summer that went 3.5 hours twice a week. So you should be careful before you give me a microphone in the summer, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I can go on and on. But I also greatly value brevity, and I want to echo your first thanks to the citizens of Scituate, to the people who supported this in town meeting, at the ballot box, and just over time. I also want to thank Mary Ellen Gaziano, who's here, former chair of the library trustees. Jody McDonough could not be here, and you mentioned Kathy Meeker. When we began this process, there were a few people who questioned the need for a renovated library, for an expanded library, saying in the 21st century, is it relevant anymore? Well, there are only a few such people, but those questions and concerns, I think, were legitimate to be asked. And I would ask those people to come here and look in the children's room, look in the teen room, look anywhere in this library, and at the help that everybody gets, the advice, the guidance, and support of the staff of this library. You can't get that on Wikipedia, you can't get that on Google, you can't get it on your iPad. This is a information-based community center that will serve the citizens of Scituate for many, many years to come. It can't be done, of course, without the staff. Jesse and all of the other staff of the library are incredible people. I love bringing my grandchildren here, and they feel like they have additional aunts, cousins who will help them. And they don't care when Eleanor is taking the books off the shelf just to take it off the shelf. Staff is incredible. No matter what your needs are, they will do what they can to support you. Now, of course, this project probably couldn't have been so easily sold to the citizens of Scituate without the promise that additional money would be raised, not from taxes, not just from the state, but through the hard and incredible and enduring efforts of the foundation. Everybody hold on to your walls. Les Ball is here. They have raised an incredible amount, I think a shocking amount of money that we might never have suspected could have been brought out of the community. And I will let Les Ball, the former president of the foundation, brag about that, as he well deserves to. Les Ball?
Thank you, Kevin. I, too, am a former professor, and I think probably Kevin and I could put you all to sleep very quickly if we kept talking, right, Kevin? Thank you all for coming. Ginny Ayers, our new president, really should be here, but unfortunately Ginny's mother passed away on Sunday, and so I'm sure you'll all give her her condolences when you get there. The foundation's goal, which we started in 2000, was to support some of the large efforts that the library needed. A little extra money when they needed funds. Little did we know that we were going to get into a project such as this. When we started to talk to a number of people, we were told three things. One is you can't get a state grant. Two, the citizens of Scituate will never vote an override. And three, you can't raise that kind of money from people in the town. But we didn't let the facts get in the way, and we kept going on. Our imagination continued to grow. Now, over 900 families have given over $1.4 million to this project. And we're not done yet. A couple of the larger gifts, $100,000 have been given by Mara and Harold Brown, $50,000 from the Scituate Historical Society, $40,000 from the Finnegan family. And let me just make a comment about the Finnegan family. They came into the library on Saturday afternoon when we were setting up for our gala and gave us a check for another $25,000 on the spot. So we're pretty happy with that, and we're working with some other people to get some more. Our first gift, by the way, 2011, in late 2011 we started this project. Our first gift was for $50. Our second gift was from $25,000 from Yvonne Toomey. And I thought, wow, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. This is going to be easy. Well, it wasn't, but Yvonne Toomey really gave us the impetus to really start looking for larger gifts. The friends and family of Joey von Eidestein gave us $25,000, as did John and Ginny Kalopoulos, Don Nelson and his family, Mark and Michelle Dickinson, Jim and Laurie Hall, and my wife and I. We had a wonderful gala, as you know, on June 12th. We raised over $50,000 at that event. We had 350 people in the building, and some people left saying, this is the best event I've ever been to in Scituate. So we're very pleased at that, and it was a big success. We created something called a 1,000 Homes program, where younger families could give us $1,000 over 4 years. We've had over 350 families join that program already, and we're not stopping. We've had 6 or 7 this month alone, so we're continuing to grow that. So we've got some more work to do, but I think we're going to get there. We want to help Jesse and the library staff continue to work in a fabulous place, and we're going to make the $2 million happen over time, and we'll also support her in other ways. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for contributing. And if you haven't contributed, see me on the way out. Okay. Jesse.
Hi all, thank you so much for being here today. There were many times during this process that I dreamed of this moment, and it's really hard to believe that it's here. I'd first like to thank the wonderful board of library trustees. This group has been instrumental in supporting and advocating for the library. They work tirelessly to get the word out about the importance of this project and to create the policies that we need to effectively run the library. They're the town's representatives, and I assure you that they have the best interests of our patrons foremost in their thoughts. I'd also like to thank the library staff. To say that this could not have been done without them is a vast understatement. Their input during the design process was essential to building the patron-friendly library that we have today, and their work in getting the library open was nothing short of monumental. I am so proud to have them as friends and colleagues. Even though it's difficult to single out any one person on the staff, I really need to say a special thank you to my assistant director, Tony Snee, who greatly assisted me in my work on the building project and handled a very large portion of the financial data on this project. I also need to thank the most important group and the reason why we're all here, the library patrons. This project would never have been possible without their tremendous support, and I am so proud and thankful to say that Scituate truly loves its library. Lastly, I want to talk about the design team. We're fortunate to have a strong owner's project manager in Joe Sullivan with day-to-day oversight by the very dedicated John Christensen. Our contractor, Castagna Construction, worked through many trials with us to create a strong, solid, and beautiful library that they and we can all be proud of. And then there's our architect. I owe a debt of gratitude to Town Administrator Patricia Vincasi, who encouraged us to explore our options for the final library design. Without her recommendation, we would have never met Odinzello Architecture. From our first meeting with them, we were blown away by their innovative design and their modern take on libraries. They built a building that not only brings Scituate's library into the 21st century, but fits in and, dare I say, enhances the beautiful historic neighborhood that we call home. Thank you to Odinzello, and please join me in welcoming Principal Architect Conrad Ello.
Thank you, Jesse. Today is a great day for the town of Scituate and represents countless contributions of literally hundreds of people who have helped transform this public library into the wonderful, vibrant, and light-filled place that it is today. Our firm, Odinzello Architecture, was hired back in 2014, almost 3 years ago to the day, to design a new library for Scituate, funded through the construction grant from the MBLC. This was an important commission for us. It's our largest building to date. As a firm that specializes in cultural projects and takes very seriously the way buildings contribute to public life. To design a library in Massachusetts today, one cannot overlook the historical context of library development in this country, and specifically in New England over the last 170 years. In 1848, the Boston Public Library was established as the first municipally funded public lending library in the country. Over the next 50 years, more than 450 branch libraries were built in the U.S., dramatically expanding public access to information. At that time, town libraries were essentially a modern building type, experimenting with new issues of program, planning, and iconography. Today, library programs are still changing, and electronic media has become an important source of information and entertainment as books. There has been much debate over the last decade about the future of libraries and their relevance in the digital age. Kindle, iPad, we're told, are obviating the need for books. However, even in the midst of America's fascination with personal technology, what emerges from this debate is a realization and determination that the core mission of public libraries remains much the same as it always has been, to be free places where people can access information, share knowledge, and connect with their communities. Libraries are increasingly called upon to provide new services and have transformed into centers of community life and engagement, with varied and flexible programming, rather than simply serving as passive transactional repositories for books. We're excited to contribute to that transformation. As many of you know, the project team was challenged throughout construction by this building's many surprises. At a certain point, I certainly wondered whether or not there would be much of the existing building to work with. But despite many sleepless nights, I think we've succeeded in honoring architect and longtime Scituate resident John Chesley's original vision for the building, while bringing it into the 21st century. I'm perhaps most proud of the fact that this building is familiar to the community of Scituate, while being wholly transformed and a more welcoming place. Our design team was very fortunate to work with a terrific group of dedicated people: Jessie Finney and her great staff, Karen Canfield and the library trustees, Les Ball and the Library Foundation, Ed DeSalvio and the Permanent Building Committee, or Public Buildings Commission. Sorry, that's the proper term for the steering committee throughout, and the many town boards and agencies with whom we engaged, the Board of Selectmen and the staff at the MBLC, all of whom have had a much longer history on this project than we have. We have grown fond of all of you and will miss our day-to-day interactions, or at least most of them. We would also not be here today without the efforts of Castagna Construction, who translated our vision for the library into reality. Ralph Castagna put an excellent team together, and we especially thank Wes Dean, Scott Mandeville, and Jason Sperry for their professionalism and determination throughout construction. Special thanks also go out to the owner's project manager, Daedalus Projects, led by Joe Sullivan. Joe, John Christensen, and Tony Oliveira provided steady guidance and management throughout the process, without which we would have all floundered. I also thank our team of consultants and engineers, as well as one critical member of our design team who's with me today, Noel Murphy. and to those in our office who could not be here today that played critical roles, especially Ashley Gonzalez, Chelsea Brown, and my partner, Matt Odens. This building represents the collective efforts of so many people, and it's one that we should all be proud of. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce another important collaborator in this process, your town administrator, Patricia Vincezi.
Good morning. Let me just put this down. So there's lots of folks to thank, but one of the things that's pretty interesting, at least this morning, is to show you sort of as an example of how well all the people from the various OPM and architect and staff work together. Conrad really just said my entire speech. So I was sitting there crossing things out. So I'm going to do a little ad hoc, but echo both he and Jesse's words about the tremendous contribution of so many folks who brought this together, the OPM, the architect. Ralph Castagna is here. Mr. Castagna, you want to stand up so people can see you? The construction. Every other week for over 2.5 years, the Public Building Commission scrutinized the expenses, the multiple change orders, and the work done throughout the week. 2 members are here today, Stephen Shea and Stephanie Holland. You can wave. And, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Mr. Larry. So, thank you. And you can't possibly thank everybody. Jessie, of course, there's not enough words to say about her attention to detail. The furniture, the wires, the screws. I mean, there wasn't anything she missed, and she was assisted by that by Karen Canfeld. The operation of the building now falls to Kevin Kelly, our Director of Facilities, who's also here. I want to publicly thank Kevin for what he's done so far, and good or bad, what he's going to be doing in the next 5 to 10 years maintaining this building. And his mighty assistant, Dave Biagini, who's done a lot. So thank you for that. The other thing that I do want to talk about, though, is what this building is and really what it means to the community, or what a library in a community really is. And the textbook definition is that it's organized for use and maintained by a public body, an institution, corporation, or private individual. Its collections and services are intended for use by people who choose not to, or more importantly, cannot afford to, purchase an extensive collection themselves, who need material no individual can reasonably be expected to have, or who require professional research with their information. Libraries provide the services of librarians, who are experts at finding and organizing information and at interpreting information needs. Libraries provide quiet areas for study, and they also offer common areas to facilitate collaboration. And finally, the library is a source of connection to a vast world, obtainable knowledge and understanding, and entertainment. Our new library endeavors to be all these things, and I know it will succeed with an already great staff and strong community support, but also now with a building that will showcase and house all that it has been and all that it will be. We thank our residents for supporting us and are excited for what lies ahead. Thank you very much. It's now my honor and privilege to introduce our state senator, Patrick O'Connor, and our state representative, Representative Jim Cantwell.
Thank you, everybody, for the opportunity to be here today. It certainly is a great day for Scituate. I think that this is a great example of when concerned citizens get together to try and make something great for their community. And when it goes back and you hear the stories that have been talked about today, whether it be from the initial stages of planning up until the naysayers telling you it can never be done, to here we are today, where people and patrons are literally driving up as we're about to cut a ribbon on an unbelievable project for the town of Scituate. So it's my honor, especially sort of my history with the Scituate Public Libraries is through my my great aunt, Mary Lou McCann, who was greatly involved with the Scituate Libraries with my uncle. great uncle Ed McCann, who was the first town administrator of the town of Scituate. So this is something that's really near and dear to my heart, and to go through and to see the amazing work that's been done. Really a top-notch, exceptional library. When you look at all the libraries, in my opinion, across the United States, if you go to Scituate Public Library, you're seeing one of the very best. And that's due to all of the hard work that you have done in collaboration with the town and the Mass Board of Library Commissioners, which, just to brag a little bit, also approved 2 new grants for Weymouth and Norwell just the last week. So. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be seeing more of this collaboration. It really is an excellent project. I tip my hat to all of you. And in recognition of this day and the ribbon cutting, the Massachusetts Senate had read into the record this week an official citation in recognition of the grand opening and ribbon cutting of the Scituate Town Library. And be it known that the Massachusetts Senate extends to the entire library staff, Jesse, and to the town of Scituate nothing but its best wishes for continued success. Signed by Stan Rosenberg, the Senate President, myself, State Senator Patrick O'Connor. Everybody, congratulations.
Hey. Thank you, Patrick. And Trish, thank you. By the way, Marianne Kluggish, when we were sitting there, she looked out and she said, wow, I have Mara Curran is the chair of the Board of Selectmen, Trish Venkasey, Jesse Finney. You were saying this town is run by women, very capable women, by the way. And Conrad, where's Conrad? Because Conrad had mentioned the first library in 1842, I think you said, and I was whispering, saying that must have been amazing to see. And Les Ball said, yeah, it was a pretty cool place. I have to tell you, Scituate is on a roll, and was saying to Trish as I came in, when we came here for the gala, just, a little over a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I said, we have the Newgate School that's ready to open, public safety building, which is phenomenal, the cultural district that just a year ago was announced, that goes right down from St. Mary's all the way around to the lighthouse, new commercial pier that we know that, Skip, we just had that just over a little over a year ago. You're at the front lines of coastal adaptation, $20 million of new water works that are being done. And this, the coup de grace, having this come forward, this is pretty amazing what Scituate continues to do. And it says a lot for the taxpayers in Scituate, it says a lot for the leaders here in Scituate to have a vision that gets followed through. One of the previous speakers talked to the relevance of a library. And Pat and I always compare notes about family history. My mom taught little ones K through 5. I think one of the greatest gifts in life is the gift to learn how to read. And there's a library in Marshall that's named for my mother. And I love coming to libraries because we know it's a generational covenant. Not just for little ones to learn to read and to learn how to interact with others, but for others with all the continuing learning that gets done here for people who may retire. It certainly becomes a place for people when they want to try to meet as a community and collaborate. And by the way, when the economy goes down, this is a place where people find jobs. So a vibrant library, and Marianne does much better on this, talking about the value of all libraries, that we're so thrilled to be here today. Pat and I working as a team to make sure to continue to fund for our libraries. Just so we have grants. As you know, Les pointed out, 1.4 million raised through you, Les, and your very capable 900 people. And indeed, you said the vision that Les has brought about having 1,000 homes donating, you're kind of like, I think, the George Bush who said 1,000 points of light, right? And now we have a president who has 1,000 senseless tweets. But we at least now, we want to make sure as a place for learning that we can come forward and say what a congratulatory day. It's such a great day for you all to be here. I have a citation here for myself and another wonderful woman, Joan Moschino, who could not be here, but her aide, Ryan Heffernan, here is in the back. So I have a citation that has been read into the record. We'll present afterwards just for a photo. Congratulations. Thank you for such a wonderful job. And it's our great, I think our great duty here is we get to introduce Marianne Kluggish, who, Marianne was here for the groundbreaking, and my goodness, one of the most inspirational people at giving the relevance. So Marianne, please come forward. We're so thrilled to join with you today.
You're too much. Thank you. I am truly delighted to be here today celebrating this bright, new, wonderful, fabulous Scituate Library, a fantastic 33,000 square feet of joy. There just aren't enough superlatives, are there? So on behalf of Governor Baker and the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners, we congratulate the dozens of people who worked so hard for so many years to make this a reality. So well done, Scituate, a truly well-managed project proceeding step by step, no drama, taking all of those surprises in stride. Special congratulations, of course, go to Jesse Finney and before that Catherine Meeker for their vision, the library trustees, past and present, your intrepid library foundation, raising all that money from over 900 families, the friends of the library, the staff, town officials, and the hard work put in by all. This new building is a collaboration of the whole community. It seems like almost everyone gets into the act. It not only takes a village to build a library, but a lot of support. And you got that support from the citizens and taxpayers and those intrepid fundraisers who, along with the state, provided the funding. There is nothing that makes the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners happier than to award a construction grant and then see that grant, in this case $4,985,480, come to fruition. And when you get LEED certification later on, you'll be eligible for a green incentive grant, at least another $100,000. So now, while this was classified as a renovation expansion, Scituate really has a new library for the digital age. New libraries are no longer just transactional, checking books in and out. New libraries are transformational, and by that I mean they are game changers. I have no doubt that this new library will be, and probably already is, a game changer for Scituate. New libraries become the town's gathering place and create a sense of community and fellowship in a way that only libraries can offer. When you step into this library, your world gets bigger. Your new library provides access in the digital age to not just the thousands of items that are here in this building, but at your fingertips to millions of books, audiobooks, research databases, ebooks, music, films, and much more. Your new library is a place where a budding entrepreneur can get advice on setting up a business. A job seeker can get help with a resume and applying for a job online. A teenager can learn to use databases in preparation for college success. A family can attend a musical performance. A senior citizen can keep up with technology. And toddlers learn to love the written word. Libraries not only provide lifelong education for all ages, and not just from books. People learn from their environment, through dialogue, from events. With your new meeting rooms, or at lectures and workshops, or from seeing a performance. So opportunities for learning just got multiplied while having fun here in Scituate. Something I touched upon at the groundbreaking bears repeating. Many people forget that the original purpose of the Free Public Library as an institution here in the United States was for an educated citizenry to make democracy work. Thomas Jefferson wrote of an informed citizenry with public libraries in every county. In 1798, the first laws to protect libraries were enacted with the ideal of free and equal access to information for everyone, no matter their age, gender, or station in life. Today, we live in a world where it has become extremely important to our democracy to be able to tell fact from fiction, truth from fantasy. So where else should people turn but the library? In the library, you'll find professionals with expertise who are dispassionate about everything but the truth and getting it right. Libraries have never been more important. For me, the building of any new library is a renewal of our commitment to a free and dynamic society, and when it comes down to it, is what libraries are all about. May I conclude with my favorite Andrew Carnegie quote? He said, "A library outranks any other one thing a community can do to benefit its people." It's your library. Enjoy it. And now ribbon cutting.